we will study Apis mellifica. And first we will study the outer aspect of Apis. It acts on the skin, causing rashes, rosy colored rashes, urticaria, erysipelatous, inflammatory conditions anywhere on eyes, face, eyelids, and there is burning and stinging pains associated with inflammatory conditions. And the patient is aggravated by heat and ameliorated by cold. A general anasarca, that is the swelling of the whole body, may appear. There is swelling on the lids, all mucous membranes are swollen, abdominal wall is swollen, puffiness is there that pits on pressure, there is hanging uvula, and mucous membrane looks like as if full of water. If we puncture it, there will be discharge of water from it. And in any inflammatory conditions, there is aggravation from heat and amelioration from cold. This aggravation from warmth of bed, warm clothing, warm room, warmth of fire, all prevails in mental diseases, in cardiac diseases, and in throat inflammations, and in dropsies. If it is heat, the patient in brain troubles is greatly aggravated. In brain troubles, if Apis patient with congestion of brain is given hot bath, he will go into convulsions. And the patient, the child who needs opium or Apis, his fits become dreadful and very dangerous if given hot bath. Apis affects the coverings of the body, not only skin and mucous membrane, but the coverings of inner organs like the meninges of the brain, pericardium, peritoneum, and it affects the very similar way, causing great swelling, edema that pits on pressure, with peculiar stinging and burning pains, burns like coal of fire, which is aggravated by heat and ameliorated by cold. That is a general symptom run throughout the Apis conditions. The most striking thing throughout the mental state is aggravation from heat and amelioration from cold. The patient is sad, depressed, there is lack of sleep due to overworrying, and patient is suspicious and jealous like lachesis and nux vomica. The patient is indifferent and he talks like a child. Especially the woman during the confinement behaves like a child, talks like a child, and in old age the old woman also talks childish when they are talking on serious issues. Another aspect of the mental state is delirium, which comes on in brain affections. The child gradually goes into the state of unconsciousness, lies one side of the body twitches and other side is motionless. His head rolls from side to side. Eyes are very red. There is semi-conscious state of a child and pupil contracted or dilated. The child lies with half closed eyes as if benumbed. It is suitable in congestion of brain, meningitis or cerebrospinal meningitis with opisthotonus and symptoms aggravated by heat. All the symptoms are aggravated if the child is kept in overheated room and child puts on a dreadful state or a death-like pale appearance if he is kept in overheated room. The heat increases each and every symptom. Even sometimes the child breaks into sweat, a cold sweat, but it doesn't relieve fever or heat. Very often the head rolling and tossing, eyes flashing with threatened convulsions, teeth gnashing, and the child takes his hand to head in semi-conscious state, and there is a shrill cry, shrill scream. The child screams out a peculiar scream that is known to mean a brain congestion. Cry encephalic, that is the brain cry. The child cries out with this shriek in sleep when going to brain troubles is a peculiar symptom of APIS. The complaints of APIS are attended with rapidity and violence till the state of unconsciousness is reached. Kent describes the effect of bee on sensitive patient. Majority of people has been stung by honeybees during the course of lifetime without any constitutional effects. But on sensitive people, after a bee sting, patient was immediately covered with urticaria from head to foot within 10 minutes, and there was nausea, anxiety, and he was having burning, stinging, and desire to bath in cold water, and was so anxious that he was feeling as if he will die within 10 minutes if something is not done to mitigate this situation. And Kent prescribed carbolic acid, which is the antidote for APIS. Immediately after carbolic acid, the patient gets relief. APIS is a great eye remedy, and it has got a deep-seated inflammatory conditions of eyes. There are swelling on the both of the lids. When there is active inflammation, there is white opacities in patches, and the mucous membrane of eyes is as red as the raw beef, and there is lot of watery discharge running out of the eyes, and the lids and eyes are swollen, lot of pain, burning, stinging is there, and ameliorated by washing with cold water. Chronic eye troubles are aggravated by looking into the fire or radiating heat, and ameliorated by applying cold water, cold applications, etc. Erysipelas of eyes and face, starting from right side extending to left. The direction of APIS inflammations commence from right side and extends to left side. Inflammation of middle ear in connection or after scarlet fever. APIS is a great throat remedy. It cures diphtheria and high-grade inflammations. There is swelling of the whole of the buccal cavity, uvula hangs like a water bag, soft palate is puffed, tongue is also swollen, and there is raw beef-like appearance and denuded appearance of tongue and buccal cavity, and aversion to warm drinks, hot drinks, desire for cold. Also, there is stinging and burning. He cannot swallow anything. Sensation of tightness runs through many complaints of herpes. There is one very curious and strange symptom that the patient is afraid to cough, fearing that something will break or torn away. And the patient is afraid to strain at stool as if something will break. Watery diarrhea is common in herpes. Green stools, olive green, yellow watery stool, and in children and infants there is a stool mixed with blood, mucus and food, giving the appearance of tomato sauce. The anus protrude during stool and remain open, and open anus like phosphorus and pulsatilla. In constipation, it is more related to head troubles. Urinary troubles are numerous in herpes. There is scanty urine. With much straining, only few drops are passed. Ineffectual urging to urinate, burning urine and bloody urine. Smarting, burning, stinging along the urinary tract is often found in herpes. Later, there is suppressed urine. An infant goes long without urine. He screams, cries, and throws off the covers. Only a single dose of herpes sometimes settles the matter. It is often useful in scarlet fever when the urine is loaded with albumin. Inflammatory conditions of kidneys, ureter and urinary bladder resembles like cantheris, and these two remedies antidote each other. Acute inflammatory conditions of kidneys with albuminuria after scarlet fever or diphtheria, or as a sequelae of these diseases. Herpes is a great friend of woman. It cures ovarian diseases, acts on uterus and ovaries, especially the right ovary and right side of the uterus is preferred. There is burning, stinging, especially in right ovary. It has proved curative in enlarged ovaries, in cystic ovaries. There is tendency to abort at or before 3rd month of the pregnancy, and there is increased sexual desire in widows. Herpes is thustless, especially in dropsy and fevers. Here is one tip from Nash. In all the inflammations and fevers, there is dry heat and then sweat. Think of herpes. Few recorded cases of herpes and its cure. A patient living for 13 years in tropics suffered much with malaria and quinine, and now came home and suffered much from urticaria with much stinging, burning, as if lying on the bed of needles, worse from warmth, and ameliorated by bathing in cold. And herpes was given and he cured. A case of recurrent trachoma was responded by herpes, which was earlier treated with surgical means. The edema of herpes should be differentiated from edema of Kalikab and phosphorus. Kalikab affects more on upper lid, whereas phosphorus edema is prominent on the face, and apis affect lower lids. To summarize apis, there is stinging, burning, edemas, general or local, edemas of all organs, eyes, throat, genitals, ovaries, uterus, and it prefers right side, and there is thirstlessness in all the complaints. Warmth, heat aggravates all the complaints, all the inflammatory conditions, and cold applications, cold bathing ameliorates. Stupor with sharp, shrill, sudden cries in brain diseases, cryencephalic. Skin is alternately dry and perspiring. Bad effects of suppressed measles, urticaria, or any exanthemata. Involuntary diarrhea as if anus is open. With this